man, and I mean on your station.
My life is so beautiful. You know, say yeah, it's all about bread, man.
And I say this is the original Chronic Saint. You're tuned into the original bread man. Keep it locked. Rastafari said that. Ease out.
Yeah, you don't know this is a girl Bad Girl CC representing for bread man.
All who genuine bread man, reroute them. And all who are touch, we mute them. Them no smoke, them no sick, them no have pink eye, but them yeah in red. Yeah man, bread man. We're better than everything. All stead man.
How you doing, guys? Welcome back to another vlog. This one is I'm gonna bring you up on a little history in this area. This area is called, well, we call this, about 200 years ago, this area was owned by a family named Seton. So let me just show you the area real quick. See? This is Seton. I'm actually at the intersection of Seton and Strang right now. So the history that we got about this, about, if you go back 200 plus years, this area had a river that used to run through it. So in the Bronx right now, when you think about rivers in the Bronx, it's mainly, you would think about the Bronx River. And that's basically the only known river that runs through the Bronx. But there was another body of water that used to run through the Bronx, and there was another body of water that used to run through the Bronx, and it was called Rattlesnake Brook. Now, Rattlesnake Brook is a body of water that ran through this section that was owned by the Seton family. If you don't know who Setons are, I believe the name Seton was made famous by Elizabeth Seton. I'm sorry I'm talking so, but basically Elizabeth Seton is the first American-born Catholic saint, and she and her family owned this area. Her husband owned this area. She married into the name Seton. So that's all another part of history, but it's known in record that this area in the Bronx that the Seton family owned, it was alongside Rattlesnake Brook. This neighborhood now is, this whole little neighborhood, I'm going to continue driving around, but this whole neighborhood is basically the land that they owned. And that land, that river, it still exists. That's the thing that a lot of people in the Bronx don't realize. It's very noisy right now, but what the city of New York did is that they actually rerouted that river into the city's water system. So that river is running under this neighborhood. A lot of people that live in this neighborhood don't realize that. So I'm going to show you the evidence of this river that still exists. There's one little part of the Bronx where the river actually comes out of the water system and it comes back to where it was 200 years ago and plus. And thankfully that's going to be preserved. I'm going to show you exactly where it is, but let me just bring you through a little bit more of the neighborhood and go to where like the river comes back out, and I'm going to show you that. And that's going to be a little piece of history that we're working on right now. All right, so follow me. guys, we're on Dorima Avenue. It's a little bit, about like 5 or 6 blocks down from Seton. And this was all part of the same Seton family's land. I'm gonna try and pull over and show you a little bit more, all right? All right, guys, I'm back. I'm here by the Edenwald Public Library. That's a New York public library that's located right by the intersection of 233rd and Dorima. I can show you right here. So the reason why I brought you here is the same Rattlesnake Brook that I was telling you about. It actually runs straight through this library. 200 years ago, this was the brook that I'm standing in right now. And it ran through the neighborhood going straight behind this library, straight through this whole section that was owned by the Seton family. Now you could even look at the whole geography of the area. You see it's a hill going up right here. And when I turn this way, it's a hill going up right here also. So we're actually in the middle of the riverbed where it was. And like I told you, the city rerouted the whole brook into the water system, the city's water system. So the river still exists, but it goes underground and it goes onto this whole neighborhood across the street. And I'm gonna show you how the river looks now, because luckily the city did think ahead and they did try to preserve at least a little part of the river. And now this is Seton Falls Park. And this is protected. This is always going to look like that. You see how it's nice and lush? This is how it looked 200 plus years ago, and how it still looks now. And luckily this is going to be preserved. And that river, that brook, Rattlesnake Creek or whatever they call it, it still exists. Let me show you. Follow me, guys. This is it coming out of the rock in the park right across the street from the library. You just see me walk over here. And they made this little walkway where it comes out. And you can see it's going through the park. This is all preserved land now. Yeah, so this whole thing, this whole creek runs through the park right now, preserved as it was. And on the other end of the park, they actually route the creek right back into the city's water system. I'm gonna drive on the other side of the park and show you. You can still see the river there. And then it runs into the sewer system right here. So I guess this is an access point. Of course, this is off limits. I'm not gonna go in there, but I'm just showing you from this area. So from my research, it seems that after it goes into the city sewer system, it goes underground and it goes onto this neighborhood. So apparently the creek went down this area right here. And it crossed Boston Road right here. Where's your name?
Romain.
Romain?
Yeah, but I visited here from Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we used to live up here, but then we moved a year ago. Because it's fucking expensive up here.
Alright guys, I'm back. The same Rattlesnake Brook that I was talking about. This street right here, the Rima and 233rd. This is actually where it was 200 years ago. This river used to run down this street right here. This is my gentleman I just met named Ramian.
Yeah.
I was just telling him the story. He said he never knew that, but this street right down here, this was the river. And you can see the topography. You see? There's a hill going up that way, and when we look this way, there's a hill going that way. We're in the riverbed. So I'm just gonna walk across the street real quick. I'm gonna show Romain something since he didn't really realize about it.
What was the name of that river though?
It was called Rattlesnake Brook 200 years ago. And then about in the 1900s, because this whole, up there called Seton?
Yeah.
There's a family named Seton that owned all of this.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So when they sold it now, they sold like the part of the land that was over here on the other side of the park. They kind of changed the name of it to Rattlesnake Creek. So right now it's still called Rattlesnake Creek. But what a lot of people don't know, they walk past right here every day, Romain, and the same creek I'm telling you about, it still exists. You see how right here, look?
You talking about a little water that run down there?
Yes.
Oh shit, so wait.
So you see the water?
Wait, so hold on.
Yeah.
Because I see that water running down there, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that water was coming from a pipe. Like they have some kind of pipe where they get it to run out here somewhere. That's what I thought it was.
You're kind of right. Because when they built the whole neighborhood there to get rid of the creek,
right?
So they actually put the creek underground and reroute it into the city's water system.
Oh.
So from that way, it's all in the city's water system. They set up pipes and reroute the river into the pipes.
Okay.
But since this park is preserved, they had to release it back. And this is where it released back, right, Tessa?
Right. I used to come and sit down right up there and them rocks and just
okay.
Have a beer or two and thing. So I used to always, I wonder just where the water come from and thing, but then after a while they come to me say, I say them have pipes, so bring water this and thing, but I did never know there was a river or something.
Yeah, this is an existing river. Like how they say in Jamaica, anywhere water was once,
it would take back its course.
It would take back its course.
Yeah.
So they couldn't just block it off. So they had to somehow keep it running, but not above ground. So that's why they put it in the water system. So through this park, since the park is preserved, this is the remnants of the creek. Man, that was 200 years ago. You see?
Now you got me curious though. I gotta go do some research.
But that's what I want to do.
Look it up too.
That's what I want to do, Virgin.
I say because I spent 6 years living over here, hanging out in this park right here, and I did not know none of that was just
Yeah?
So I'm gonna do my research and look it up.
That's what I like. So do your research, you probably find out more than I found out.
Right.
Cause that's how I find out a lot of stuff like that. Even that I was just saying, this family Seton that owned this whole, the woman that made the Seton name famous, she was actually the first American-born Catholic saint.
Really?
She's a Catholic saint that used to own this whole. So there's a lot of history around here.
Okay.
So guys, just made another friend. You remember Barris from a few videos back. Now we have a friend named Ramian. Ramian, you wanna shout out Instagram or anything for the people?
No, right now, because I'm not really a social media kind of person. Just
understandable. Understandable, but guys, that's why I'm gonna try keeping you with some content, just spark the mind, make you do some research and find some history for yourself, and my regular lifestyle vlog. Like I said, just hit me with a like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, guys, peace.
Bright man, make myself your life is not a dead man.